Friends, countrymen. Well, you're countrymen to each other, you're not countrymen to me. I have
Yeah.
excellent news. It has been raining in multiple places around the world.
It's been raining a fair bit here.
Yeah.
It's been so long.
Getting from there to here.
Yes, thank you. Bro, it's been so long. There's a dry season and there's a wet season, and it's been in the dry season for like a whole season, and it's the worst. It's finally starting to rain again. I've missed it so much. You know what else I've missed? Star Trek watch-alongs, am I right?
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Sure. It's gonna be
this
sick.
week, we're watching Who Mourns for Adonais, which is where we learned that the Greek gods existed, but they were just aliens with a god complex. The Changeling, which is about the Nomad probe, but I don't know what it does. I just know the Nomad probe is in it. And then Mirorr, which we all know what it is. It's the one where
Yeah.
Spock gets a beard.
Right.
Does Evil Kirk have a beard?
No, it's actual church. Oh, actually, no, he gets changed into the other universe, doesn't he?
Yeah,
don't
they
know,
get
it's
swapped,
top of
so
my
we
head.
do see Evil Kirk, but is he bearded?
My recollection is that everyone in the Mirror universe has a evil goatee, but I don't.
Everyone.
Okay, probably
Even
not
like
the women.
Uhura?
But that might, yeah.
Because that would be awesome.
I
I could see Lower Decks doing that.
Spoof rather than the actual Star Trek episode.
Lower
There-
Decks would totally give
that's-
Uhura a goatee.
Yes, that would also happen.
It'd be so good. Yeah, Evil Hoshi. What was up with her? She didn't have any fancy stuff going on with her appearance other than her clothes. She didn't.
Yes,
I feel like all the-
sexy clothing that, for some reason.
Well, yeah, that's just sort of the
Interesting.
Mirror universe in general.
Yeah.
In TOS, I feel like they change people's makeup a lot more. Later on, it's just clothing.
Hmm.
And if you have questions about the Mirror universe, please refer to the Deep Space Nine episode, where Rom and Quark go to the Mirror universe and explain everything. It all makes perfect sense. Don't worry about it. There are many. Look, the Mirror universe doesn't make sense, but we all know this. We don't
No.
need to discuss it. We can just. That's just how it is.
It's too good. Yeah.
Just don't worry about it. It's fine. Ear review? Is it raining?
Hey guys.
No, don't say hi. Tell me if it's raining.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed everything.
Is it raining?
Yeah.
Speak.
That's the other
Ugh, gross.
thing.
We're good.
It's even
No.
the point of the sun.
I like the rain too. I think the air smells fresher.
It's nice when it has rained. Yeah, I'll give it that.
Well, you don't like it when it's actively raining? What about like the sound of rain on the roof at least? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Okay, that can be pleasant. Like when I'm not.
It's nice now that we've got a roof that's fixed.
Your roof wasn't fixed? What happened to
Our
your
roof was leaking every now and then.
Ah, yes, I should put the countdown timer on Discord. It's very important, yes. Make sure everyone's synced up. On the Discord stream, can you see my cursor?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because yeah, I'm always just like moving it around and clicking on stuff. I was never sure if you could see it, but that's fine.
I occasionally freak out a little bit because I think it's my cursor and I'm wondering why it's moving.
Look,
But
don't worry about it. It's my cursor and it's compulsive. Leave me alone.
I'm like
Literally
twice
just
as
clicking on the black space.
It's really bad when someone's trying to I'm trying to show someone some code and then trying to read it and then I
Oh, hang on, press play.
compulsively start
5,
scrolling around.
4, 3, 2, 1, play. Who Mourns for Adonais? Season 2, Episode 2. Oh,
Yeah.
also about the way this is scheduled, because we missed a week last week, we're doing Cat's Paw for Halloween again.
Hey.
October 29th, but close enough.
I just watched the Triskelion encounter or something, season 2 episode, and that had a
What?
lot of like,
Oh, the Gamesters of Triskelion.
yeah, thank you. That had a lot of like Halloweeny elements to it too. I felt.
Does Scotty have a crush? What? What? What are they talking about?
Matching up with your coworkers.
What does that mean? Bones, what does that mean?
Like,
Whatever. What's going on here?
okay, so the thing is, he
Gene,
laments
get out of
that
here.
like when a woman's gonna get married, she's no longer gonna be part of the source of force. Because obviously, once you're married, you don't have to like work anymore or go to school or
They don't
have a
have to
career.
work anyway. This is the space communist future.
Yeah.
Right, but
I think there's actually money in TOS in terms of they get paid technically.
Quite ordinary. Why'd you say that, Spock? You know it's gonna go crazy now.
We have a very biased view of like which planets they run into. It's probably much more boring most of the time.
What year is this CGI from? When was the remaster done?
Oh, good question.
I want to say like early 2000s? Or was it
Yes,
like was it even the 90s? When was
I
this?
guess 06. No, it wasn't the 90s because we still have the original box set. We barely had DVD. Let me look it
Oh
up for
no,
you.
2007.
Okay.
It's a hand. Yeah, it's very obvious, Captain. No, Spock, it's clearly a hand.
Oh wow.
A projection into space would necessarily have to be a field of energy. Because you
Yeah,
can't project onto nothing, so it has to project an actual field of energy to be a visible object.
I do not remember this. I'm not exactly a classicist, but I don't remember the giant green space hand from any of the old Greek stories. Maybe that's just my lack of education speaking. So I'm not sure why it's called Adonais. Because I'm
the
looking
gods.
up Adonais, because Adonis is a Greek god or dude or something, but Adonais is
Maybe? I
different.
don't remember.
Adonais, an elegy on the death of John Keats? What? There's a poem about a poet that references Adonais, but where does that come from?
Hmm. Still waiting on my Enterprise E, but I've got the Enterprise D now.
The Eagle Moss model?
Yeah.
Does yours have a saucer separation feature?
I'm not fully certain.
Okay. When I got my Enterprise D, I didn't realize immediately that it arrived broken. The saucer and the primary hole were separated. So I was like, oh, you can do a saucer separation thing. That's neat.
Hmm.
No.
No, it just broke. It's fine.
Hmm.
Yeah, the real feature is also reconnection. That's the
That's
tricky part.
Yeah,
Anyone can
these
separate.
do it.
Well, it can't stick together when it's in the stand. It holds it in place. What about phasers?
This really reminds me of the first TNG episode that's not the pilot, the one with the Ferengi. And the Tikan Empire holds them both hostage. If it was the 60s, we would have used a hand on film as well.
Is this Jean's hand? I wonder if Memory Alpha knows.
Oh wow, tractor beams repel now.
Yeah, they can do whatever you want.
Is that done on a tractor beam at any other point with a tractor beam?
Yeah, they do it in
Discovery.
TNG
Yeah,
to push an
there's an
asteroid.
TNG. But they also try and push the ship out away. Don't know that offers a suggestion.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Which totally would have worked if they just did it a few seconds faster instead of just casually chatting about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is one handsome great god.
He's all right.
I mean, the laurel leaves.
I don't know. His expression kind of makes me thinks he's trying to scam me.
Yeah.
That's just the backdrop against the stars.
No, the shape of his mouth, the way he's like holding it in his.
Yeah,
He's
looks
not
pained
really
right now.
smiling, but he looks like he's
Yeah.
trying to.
Yeah, there's a certain
I don't trust him.
Yeah. There's a kind of Mormon friendliness to his smile.
Yeah.
It's a really compelling plot that like the Greek gods were like real at one point, but then we stopped worshiping them. So they died.
I
He
don't
even
understand
cries.
why he still talks like this, though, because clearly he's a spacefaring society, or from a spacefaring society. Why is
Yeah.
he still talking all old?
Yeah.
Why is he talking about wind and sails? He knows this is a spaceship. He knows what's going on.
It's fair.
I think
I don't know. I still like using old memes. He's just old.
He's memeing on Kirk?
Yeah.
Okay.
he's live action role playing. Once you get
That-
into it, you can't break it.
That external shot, nothing happened. It was too... Okay.
It's like Zeus could do other stuff, but if you're good at Thunderbolts, why not do anything else? Why do anything else?
I feel like he would get bored. It's been thousands of years and he's on the same thing. Ooh, some Q vibes going on there. Where Picard had to, like, concede.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, remember Q had them in a net at Encounter Farpoint? That was so tall.
Racist, but alright.
I think that was Farpoint. Nietzsche had a really interesting thesis. Well,
You're
God-
returning home. Sorry, yeah.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say that more weird vibes. Come, you're returning home. Like,
Are
yeah.
y'all with the
Yeah,
cult?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not a cult.
Totally a cult.
This is it.
Tackle it? Wait, like, I mean, this is Captain Kirk. He might mean that literally. They might try to tackle a Greek god. This looks like a set.
Yeah.
Those don't look like real trees.
Very true.
It's okay. This is just what trees look like and the ground looked like
He-
back in ancient times, ancient Greece.
Did you hear what he called her? An A&A officer? And then he said anthropology, archaeology, and ancient civilizations. So shouldn't that be AAA? AAAC?
Maybe it's like the Bureau of ATF. They just added more words but not more letters.
Oh, well, they are always BATFE, but they like to call themselves ATF because it makes them feel better about themselves. Because like
Really, the explosives was already part of it.
the cool, yeah,
Always-
the cool agencies have 3-letter names like
Of course.
FBI, NSA, CIA. So like they want to feel, yeah.
Like the
assumed explosives was
TSA.
afterward. That's cute.
Is he breaking up for everybody else, or is it just me?
Ooh.
I mean, I can make out what he's saying though.
Gyrings.
Oh, I don't
He's
know.
intelligible.
Yeah, sounds fine.
Bad mic technique, maybe.
I mean, there was some stuttering going on, but I don't think that was the mic's fault.
No, I think there's some type of warble or like
The instrument he
Is it a
has by
fan?
his chair is called a lyre, Lyre. So
Is this the first episode with Chekhov?
Second.
No, he's been in the first, yeah.
Second, okay.
This is season 2 now.
I love his outfit. It's so golden and revealing.
Yes, he looks very pleased. You can tell by his strong smile. Have they tried to shoot him yet? I think they're going to later.
Olympus was the highest mountain in Greece. So obviously that's why they said that's where the gods lived.
Makes sense.
In Israel, it's Mount Hermon.
Man, all these gods are so petulant. All they want is attention.
They're a little bit like that. This feels like Star Trek V already.
Whoa, wait, did they cover up his nipple?
He's wearing a lot of makeup, and they shaved him.
They've
down.
they've
I can
no,
see
no, no.
it,
They've
but yeah, it's
removed
makeuped
it. Like
over.
you're
Yeah.
right, they put something on top of it and then they put makeup over it.
I mean, he's a god.
Gods
he doesn't
don't have
really-
nipples.
He doesn't need a nipple as much as he needs to be brawny.
Does he have a belly button?
He doesn't go to the bathroom.
What does God need with a toilet?
Right.
What does God need with nipples? Would that be the best milk?
There's probably at least one Greek story about god milk.
I'm sure there is.
Well,
That seems
the-
inevitable. Yeah.
The Milky Way is Hera's breast. That's why it's called the Milky Way, because it's drops from Hera's
also-
breast.
Looks like a bunch of spilled milk.
From the breast of Hera.
But it also just looks like milk.
Well,
What,
all right.
gods
So if
can't get a towel, clean up after themselves, just leaving it all over space?
I think, Gyrinx, I think specifically, if you've ever seen like milk being expressed like freely, that's what the stars. I assume that's what that's supposed to
Okay.
represent.
The American
Right?
Museum of Natural History says the Milky Way gets its name from a Greek myth about the goddess Hera who sprayed milk across the sky,
Ah,
which sounds
Yeah.
deliberate, which means like she just
Yeah. I mean, I've seen
like
videos.
I mean, that's a
aimed
rude
a
way to
well.
pee, you know. So if you make like a design on a wall, spell your name in urine.
You just used it like
Um,
a squirt gun.
yeah, basically.
I It's
Look, I mean,
weird,
you guys
Hera,
are
but
saying there
whatever.
must be a story about God milk. Yes, there is.
Yeah, because the Greeks
We
they
talk
were
about it every
weird.
day.
eh,
We talk about it every day. Oh my god, I love. I mean, this is wrong because they take her out of uniform. I guess it starts a precedent of just not allowing women in uniform.
Yeah,
But she
this
looks
is
straight because the Trillion episode is the same thing.
if there's a woman on an away team, you know the episode's going to get really sketchy.
I mean, she's just gonna wind up wearing a dress by the end of it. That's okay though.
She joins him. She gets on his side because
Yeah,
he's hot.
and I mean,
every woman in GOS seems to do that.
She's down with the torture. It's totally
I mean,
fine.
do you remember though? The episode starts off with Scotty taking her out, and yeah, she'll be married one day. They're already thinking of like shipping her.
$430. I thought that the crew of the Enterprise was like 160.
No, it's 400 on the original Enterprise
The
1701.
I think the
NX-01
number
was less than
changes.
100, I think.
Yeah, it was like 85, 88.
Like half of them
Um,
died.
Crew of
Athena sprung from the head of Zeus.
He keeps
You
comparing her
see
to
wise for a woman? What do
Christ.
you mean?
Yeah.
eh,
Wasn't one of the female daughters literally the goddess of wisdom?
Right. But she was also a warrior goddess, by the way.
Yeah, but
Oh, is
she
she
was a
gonna
jerk and she left him here on this planet, so she can't be
Is
that
she-
wise.
is she gonna end up leaving the Enterprise and staying with him?
No, because they're gonna like turn him back into a regular lame alien, take away
Yeah.
his power, and then she's gonna
I-
leave.
Are you guys saying if a god offers you to live a life of free from need and want, you're not going to go with him or her?
You know what they should
Yeah.
have done? They should have shown it blowing off Scotty's finger, and then they have an in-universe explanation of why he's missing a finger.
yeah, that would saved a lot of trouble.
I mean, in our world, I would just be like a billionaire. Like I remember reading about Chris
This life
something.
of ease and luxury, it's just you sit in his
Golden
garden and tell him
cage.
how great he is. That life
It's called a
sucks.
golden cage. Like you're allowed to, like you're a little bird, but you're trapped in a little golden cage, and you get to sing all day for your supper.
I see the nipple
That
now.
sounds awful.
The bow arm should be bare, whilst you attach some silk to her arms, so it's even harder to fire an arrow. Or loose an arrow.
Honestly, the makeup they put over his nipples distracted me even more because you can still see like
weird.
the actual nipple part of it. You just can't see the areola, and so
It's
it looks
so
out
weird.
of place.
It's a ghost nipple. That's the name for that. Ghost nipple. When it's like the same color as the surrounding skin.
Obviously, you guys are unfamiliar with Greek gods.
And
And
it's
their
really
nipples?
really far into the corner, isn't it? Like really far into the corner.
Seems like it.
Yeah, it is. It's off.
It's like abnormally. Maybe that's why they painted over it. 'Cause they're like, dude, your nipples are like almost in your armpit.
We're good with nipples, but your nipples are just too weird. Yeah.
And it's like the 60s, so it's like 240 pi. So
That's true.
PI, like Magnum PI. You mean interlaced?
right.
Sorry. Remember when was it Batman and Robin. They gave the bat suit nipples. And everyone
Yeah.
was like, the bat suit has
Oh,
nipples.
yeah.
George Clooney.
Still seems like a weird choice.
I mean that movie had a German director who also
What
like
was the
zoomed
Batman
in.
Forever?
Oh, okay.
Batman Forever?
Yeah, Batman
I
Forever
don't
had a
remember.
German director where they like zoomed in on Batman's crotch even.
No, Batman Forever was Val Kilmer. So was it Batman and Robin that was George Clooney?
I think that sounds right.
Yeah, that was George Clooney. And that's when the nipples.
No, I was seeing the
Yes.
director.
But that was also. Is that the one I was thinking that was just bad?
Yeah.
I mean,
I
think
and all that. Yeah.
Batman and Robin and Batman Forever were both kind of bad to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But I gotta say though, this set is amazing. I like the statues. I like this little seat that the god sits in.
I mean,
I don't know. I'll take the life of ease and luxury and write a couple of books.
You're really just gonna sit in this garden worshiping one dude forever? That's what you want out of life?
I want grapes and books. That's all. Fat grapes.
I mean, grapes and books are pretty nice things. I'll give you that. But
It's like when I was a kid going to church, they would describe heaven as like you just basically sit in a giant choir worshiping God 24/7 forever. It's like, oh
Yeah.
yes, they're just the greatest existence possible. It just sounds like torture.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not too set on what Mirorr is saying to the simple farmers and such of Greece. They were very, very academically minded.
Right.
Literally, a lot of our physics, a lot of our modern day stuff is founded on the principles which they created. So they're not simple people.
Right.
No, people who have those powers would almost certainly seem like gods to even us today, possibly. But that's not because we're simple, it's because they've got things which are completely unexplainable. That there is no. They're saying the
Yeah.
gods and there's nothing else there to it. So
Right.
to many people, they'd seem as gods.
I mean, certainly beyond the human capability, the range of human capability.
Beyond the range of our imagination at that time, even. Not because we were simple, but because we'd never encountered anything like it. It's only today, like, sci-fi is 120 years old, give or take.
Right, Jules Verne.
So it's only at that point have we started imagining these scenarios. And it's only at that point where we have any consideration, or any major consideration of gods not necessarily being gods just because they've got those powers.
Right.
Before then,
It was
we haven't
supernatural
encountered scenarios,
explanations.
haven't thought of scenarios like that. So if they said they're gods, they're gods.
Right. And it's interesting because like even in the Hebrew, right? God is just El, which means power. So there's all kinds of deities that were called gods or powers. So like, we think of nymphs and satyrs, like those
Yeah.
would fall under some kind of divinity in the Hebrew
Indeed.
ancient Israelite understanding. There's nothing wrong with this nipple, guys. You guys are so mean.
it's weird, dude. It's weird.
There's nothing wrong with this.
It's weird the way they've covered it, if nothing else.
No, it is a little bit too left and off center, but you guys are like pointing it out like that's some kind of defect.
We wouldn't be pointing it out.
Point out that they're painted over it.
It's not the crime; it's the cover-up.
So you're saying this is like Nipplegate?
Yeah, something like that.
Frankly, I
Okay.
can't believe they would allow this on network television.
Well, I mean, it reminds me of Gene Roddenberry's Deanna Troi with the third breast. Or by the way, fourth breast was also in the picture. So would it have been like something closer to this?
She's like a dog
Roving.
with like a row of breasts down her chest.
I mean, shouldn't that be how Dr. Ta'ana works? But it's not.
Oh yeah.
How do you know it's not?
Well, she has certain protrusions from her uniform
Well,
that
she might
imply
be
something else.
she might be binding the other ones just to conform.
And then Tucker had a bunch of nipples grow all over his body, right?
He had a nipple on his wrist.
Oh, okay.
I don't know
Thought
if
he
he had
was-
them anywhere else.
Okay.
He started having mood swings.
Actually, fun
A
fact.
nipple on the wrist is the optimal place to have it because you can like just hold the baby's head with your whole hand, and it's just
Oh
it
yeah.
gets fed.
Wait,
Evolution.
Hold it in
Evolution works
place.
out. I kind of like the tail things from Avatar that you like
At
link
the same
in your
time,
sticks.
the milk would get in the way.
Wait, what are the red grapes? Those are very, very red.
Those are spray painted.
Those are like poison
fake.
red.
Those are plastic grapes.
yeah, those are.
And
I
plastic.
think we're
candy.
mentioning what they're supposed to be. They're not supposed to look like plastic grapes.
Is that what they look like in ancient Greece?
They were very luscious. God wine.
Oh, the fluffy what? God,
Uh,
no one's tried to cut him off. He might have been talking about a moopsie. Those are fluffy.
I like how Chekhov calls the city Leningrad in TOS, and I'm like, it's not going to be Leningrad for long.
This is actually a sound concept because matter is just a form of energy. So it is theoretically possible that something could just channel that energy through the matter.
Yeah, man. He's just got a phaser in his hand.
So, fun fact: the reason men even have nipples is because the fetus is a girl at birth, and later a certain amount of hormones make it flesh into the boy.
I mean,
Like,
it's simpler just to give everyone nipples. It's what it comes down to, really.
Yeah. no, I mean like, ovaries become testicles.
Yeah.
Now, I do appreciate that's a different lightning effect than TNG uses. I would think if they were doing a remaster, they would just use the same effect that they had in stock, but no, it was different.
Huh? That's good.
I can't help but not look at the guy's face anymore. It's so rude.
Be careful not to choke on your aspirations, Captain.
Kirk does this with a good bit of enthusiasm, but Chekhov and Uhura are not that good at it in the Gang of Drinksters of Triskelion episode. It's pretty terrible to do the whole shock collar effect.
Oh, they have to be very careful with how this dude sits with how short his skirt is. I'm just watching him walk around. He's being very careful.
It's like they had to redo the whole dress to hide at least one nipple.
No, it's like how he's angling his legs so you can't see up his
Yeah.
skirt.
Yeah. That whole outfit was a nightmare, though, to design and to drape over the guy.
Ah, yes, the Minsk cat, of course. I wonder if the Chekhov we get in Strange New Worlds is going to be Russian.
Yeah.
Actually, no, we probably won't get a Chekhov. Never mind.
Nope.
No, it is season 2 that he appears. Though we could see him in a lower decks portion of Strange New Worlds. Like,
Did we
just
actually know
wandering
he
around the
wasn't
decks.
on the crew in season 1, or just we never saw him? Because they could
There's
use
probably
excuse.
some
to
base
say.
canon on it, but there's nothing confirmed in canon.
He took over as a ship's botanist once Sulu went to the helm.
Yeah.
And now someone else took over as botanist, so now he's a whatever he does. What is he, navigator?
Weapons.
Yeah.
He's tactical? Though tactical officer on the original Enterprise kind of isn't really a job, because all he does is relay orders from the captain to the actual weapons room.
Yeah.
He's just a walkie-talkie.
That is a bit weird in TOS that have it separated like that.
To make Chekhov more palatable, because Russia was communist, he was ordered to get a Beatles haircut. But I think it's more horrifying that like in the 60s, like
Beatles
if we
hair?
were
Wait, are you saying that's not a wig?
oh sorry, the Monkees. He was ordered to get a Monkees haircut. I confused my 60s boy bands. But imagine like us if we were around back then to be cool in high school or whatever. We had to get that ridiculous mop on our heads.
No one in this channel was cool in high school.
Yeah, I certainly wasn't.
I'll have you know I did very well in my economics class.
My best friend got me invited to some end of the year parties.
Your friend was cool.
Yeah.
I only
But
even
your
started
friend- your
watching
friend
Star
got
Trek at the
invited-
very end of my high school.
And they brought you along.
Yeah.
Good friend.
Yeah. At least all my nipples are in the right place, okay?
Mr. Kyle.
Yeah, but are they ghost
Interesting surname.
nipples? There's Selena Kyle.
They defeat Vol the same way. You just gotta overload the apparatus of the temple of the god.
M-rays. Exciting.
I assume that's like a space future version of X-rays.
Yeah, gotta be.
Well,
By the
V-rays
25th
sounds
century, they're all
too
the way to
lame.
A-rays.
In the Gangsters of Triskelion episode, Spock's like, there was this incredible light that was broadcast from another system, and that must have kidnapped the captain. But they could only imagine stuff in terms of certain kind of ultraviolet light.
Another point is 5,000 years. I suppose it's very approximately right. Depends
Right.
on what exactly you're talking about.
Homer.
Yeah, so there's the line that is odd. We find the one god quite adequate.
Yeah.
There are major
Woo!
lore implications here.
It means America has this Judeo-Christian heritage, or it was
What I
broadcast.
choose to interpret it as,
Like the
that's
One
William
Ring.
Shatner talking about himself.
But no,
Uh,
it is way off because it's only 4,000 years if you go to the 12th century BC.
Homer.
Or 3,000 years, in fact.
I mean, ancient Minoan civilization would be 5,000 years,
No.
and that's so. This is how we overwhelm a god. We just confuse it with like confusing ideas.
I just realized they do this trick multiple times. There's another time where there's like an android or an evil computer or something, and they
Yeah, that's a
laugh at it
Landry,
to
right? They give it
confuse
two
it?
conflicting orders at the same time. Landry, can you outthink yourself?
No, Lieutenant Cod. Worthless.
That's what they're trying to get him to do.
Wait, did Apollo get paler? I think he was a lot more tan earlier.
He's still
Well,
tan.
maybe it was just the close-up was kind of
Yeah,
differently
bright.
graded.
Oh, this is the ideal
Artisans.
society.
We call them engineers now, Apollo.
Wow, our hero's about to be stranded.
Wow, she kind of ruined the whole plan, didn't she?
Yeah, she fell for the evil Greek god that's threatening to murder them.
The dress did it.
No, I think it was the nipple. It's interesting.
There's a online. It's really popular. It's a series called Gore, where aliens have kidnapped humans and they put them on a planet, and they've technologically limited the planet to pre-industrial age technology, so people just live like medieval era.
I've seen this episode before. It was on Stargate, and it was on the Orville, and it was in Star Trek, and
Q offers a girl immortality at one point, and then she gets Riker to fall in love with her or something.
So apparently, Apollo's name is Michael Forrest, but not really. He did the Siddiqa Makti thing,
Mm-hmm.
where he just gave himself an American name.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, he's French.
Oh wow, that's why he's so dreamy. The ensign, the anthropology expert, can't help but fall for him. The ancient civilization
how's
expert.
how's he supposed to make his people on the ship ready to come down if he can't communicate with them?
I think they found a way to break through.
But does
Well,
Well,
Apollo
you
go
don't
there?
understand. You don't understand what I mean. The guy told him to make his people ready to come to the surface. If he's blocking his
Oh.
communication, how does he expect them to make him ready to come to the surface?
Maybe he's not blocking them anymore. But then it doesn't make any.
But he's blocking him right now.
Yeah.
Can this guy make up his mind? What does he want him to do? He's come back and he's like, "Why aren't you people here? You blocked my signal. I can't communicate to them. Even if I wanted to bring him down, guy.
Just play your pipe, Robo.
My pipe.
No, because Kirk says, "Do you want us to just herd goats and play pipes for you all day?" You know, some humans just when it's time to beam down, herd the goats.
Oh, so if we want to make him angry and use his power, I vote we shoot her. That should work, right? He'll freak out. Yeah, so shoot her. He'll get angry. He'll use his power. He'll wear him out. Oh god, she's worthless. Shoot her.
Does he know about
That
the
sounds
stun
good.
setting?
Sometimes.
No, I mean, does Apollo know about the stun setting?
No, she wouldn't be tending sheep. That would be your job. She gets to sit on the stone throne for a while in a dress.
Yeah, that's the point.
How come one?
Sorry about that.
They're not even close to each other on the keyboard.
Look, I didn't make the subtitles.
I know.
We're not the same, Captain. You don't have a dress at all, and mine is fabulous.
There's a scene in which Teal'c in Stardate says to Cam Mitchell that knowledge of one to escape the influence of others or something like that. Knowledge of oneself is what's important. Which is basically what Hurt is saying here.
Give her a gun?
mean, do the guns? Well,
He broke one or two of the guns, but they still have more.
and maybe if
No,
he's
they
surprised
checked,
enough, he'll break in time. Yeah.
they checked all of them and they weren't working.
Well, bludgeon him with a gun.
Oh, Ryan, did you see that link I sent you about that game, Star Trek Infinite? It looks
Uh,
like a Stellaris clone.
It is.
It is.
It
It's
is
very
Stellaris
explicitly a
clone.
Stellaris clone.
It's
Oh,
by
It's
Paradox, right?
published by Paradox. They let some other group play with their engine to make a Star Trek game. Yes, the gun is the solution. It's just the bigger gun.
really big gun.
How far away do you have to be from the world-destroying power of the phasers? Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about her. She chose her side. See, she was explicitly ordered to spurn him, and here she is making out with him.
Possibly a thing with the remaster, but it looks like they're flipping some frames. Or some scenes. Based on which side her sash is on.
Oof.
Well done, Carolyn.
She's spurning him good.
But I can do this.
Behold, weather. Oh, he can make it rain. Oh, maybe I should date him.
Why do you need it to rain?
Because rain's awesome, man. I just like the rain.
I thought I missed some earlier conversation where that was relevant.
Well, it's a recurring conversation about the weather.
Oh man.
That's superheating stone.
As it turns out, the power of technology is straight up more powerful than a god. Works out great. Screw this guy, we've got a gun.
I bought some metal shelving units off of Marketplace, and I assume that they were identical. They weren't identical. They were two different shelving units. They're the similar size, but they're like different models. And they were Amazon returns. They're all a little bit like screwed up. So I'm not sure what to do now.
So I've decided you guys are right. I don't want to spend the rest of my life being a rich man's poodle.
No golden
Oh.
cage for you.
So what they've done is like if this
Strange
guy had just let
rebel.
them leave, he would have been fine. But now all his power has been destroyed.
Now he's just some guy. Admittedly, some guy who
No.
hits the gym a lot, but
He-
still.
he's still a non-corporeal life form because the way he goes out is he cries out to Hera and Zeus and like his brothers and sisters, the gods
Really,
who
they
already
just did
left.
the Trelane thing again.
It's like, take me. I don't want to be with these stupid mortals anymore. They don't even know who to worship.
They didn't like
worship-
my grapes.
They worship
Yeah.
some. They worship some
He's-
invisible guy instead of
He's
me.
crying.
Oh my god, she's all
What
messed
does
up.
God need with cheer ducts?
What?
Look, I gotta say something beautiful about Greek religion was that those gods, they were explanations for natural phenomenon. So it was the beginnings of humanity. We didn't have the correct answers, but we were trying for the correct answers. So it led to science and philosophy and everything we enjoy today. I'm more in for Adonais. That's what I'm trying to say.
What?
Yeah, screw him.
No,
He's a dick.
we
Could
had
have been a
this.
goddess.
We
If
had
he really
this
wanted worshippers, he could have just like gone to Earth and talked to people, because there are
Fed-
still people who worship the ancient Greek gods. They would have been into it.
fed people, like
True.
grain when they were starving.
If you want worshippers, kidnapping is a bad place to start.
Look at the special effects. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, what, 20 feet tall now? He's the one guy who lingered. They're too smart for us now.
With the way they scaled him, are his feet underground?
Yeah.
They're under the rubble. It's supposed to be like on the other side of it, I guess.
I don't think they had time to reshoot the whole thing. Aww.
The last Frenchman in the galaxy.
What?
Gone. So dull.
Yeah, what's with the what's with the captions?
Don't
There's a
worry
lot of
about the
errors in them.
captions.
Are they like auto-generated?
I got
No.
them from opensubtitles.org.
Yeah, they need some help, eh?
Well, they're open, so you can go fix them.
Yeah, but I won't though.
No, I was saying to Robo.
All right.
Neither will I.
So that was
That
kind
was
of a moving past religion episode, but also they said they still believe in a god, so I don't really know what the message was, to be honest.
also, it was the 1960s, so you couldn't have said we don't believe in any fairy tales anymore.
Yeah, that would not have gone well.
But the next
have
episode,
one
I
fairy
know
tale
even
left.
less about. It's the Changeling. It's about the Nomad probe. No idea what happens in the episode, other than there's a probe called Nomad. And there's a secret message. That's not really secret, but you know. Well, it's secret, but it's not really a real message. It's just random audio from another episode. So, Robo, is it raining there?
Here?
Yeah.
Actually, it's a really sunny day, unusually sunny day.
Absolute
Sorry.
worst.
It rained the last several days. Now it's like really sunny out.
Well, all good things must come to an end.
So funny thing is, Homer actually wrote the
Hold on.
Greek
Press
religion.
play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play. Continue.
They had, of course, the names of the gods and some kind of loose understanding of their properties, but Homer was the one who actually spun them into a story and then made them all recognizable into the mythology that we understand today.
Oh. 4
4
billion people.
billion people.
The board.
I don't know if you've checked. I don't know if you've checked the population of Earth recently, but we're coming up on 8. It's like 7.9 right now.
I thought we
At the
passed
time,
it.
it was 4 when this was aired. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty ridiculous because
Oh yeah, we passed 8. No, we're past. We're good.
Yeah, we were
I
past 8
thought
now.
I searched it just the other day and it says 7.888.
Well, we passed it in the last 5 days.
I feel like we need to really need to curb that.
We
People.
could say 14 billion.
It took us a long time to get to from 7 to 8 compared to 5 to 6. Like I remember us getting 5 to 6 and 6 to 7. It was much faster. So yeah, the curbing is already happening.
The limit is 14 billion. We're after 14 billion, we have sustainability problems.
Yeah. No,
You're insane. 14 billion.
It's not the sheer number of people. That's the problem.
Okay, Jags, now you're breaking up for
Now
me.
you're breaking up.
That's how he sounded the whole time to me.
He didn't sound like it like
No,
that
he-
for me earlier, though. Just
He got
now.
one sentence out. Oh wow, shaky cam.
It's moving too much.
Shaky cam.
Yes, that is a string of noises.
I like how the lighting completely changed between cuts.
I know what happened. His universal translator broke.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
we're
what.
just
Yes.
hearing his native tongue,
Are you saying he's
whatever
a Binar?
space language. Yeah, something not
Oh.
human.
In lower decks, when we hear the Binars talk, they are also saying something just sped up a lot.
Really?
Did you slow it down so we can understand it?
It's.
I mean,
they put a
millions
bunch
of
of other
times.
filters over it, so I could only actually make out one sentence, which was something about like, why do we have to put in all this work?
Oh.
There's a bunch of other stuff layered on top, so it's really hard to understand. But it's in there.
Oh, about the prior episode, I was going to say about philosophy. Nietzsche famously said that God is dead. If you don't believe me, ask him. But the modern age also begins with the idea that we're really not going to subscribe to the old view of the world. Back then, you were mostly only had friends of who were the same religion as you were. Gods only have power when you believe in them.
That's a heck of a lot of energy, which they just said. In any other episode of even TOS, the Enterprise would be a pile of rubber right now.
But that wouldn't be
Yeah.
convenient here.
Well, it kind of reminds me of the motion picture, like It's to the 10th power, to the 9th power, to the 14th power.
1 to the 10th power. Still one of the best lines.
Yeah. Ah, yes, the old warp scale.
I mean, this is really the motion picture going on right now.
Now, here, I have an opinion on what I think would be the best warp scale, where speed is c times 2 to the power of your warp factor. So it still scales up exponentially. Each factor is 2 times faster than the previous, but you don't get the insane, like, infinity speed.
Right.
Make it like logarithmic.
I think that's what he's suggesting.
2 to the n times the speed of light.
Logarithmic times 2.
That's that's a logarithmic scale phase 2.
You fool, you've only made it stronger.
Yeah.
The viewer things that Spock uses, like, obviously, like, you didn't have a lot. We didn't imagine that 50-inch screens would be cheap one day. But back in the day, they used to have Nickelodeon machines. It was basically like a kaleidoscope. You put it in a nickel, and you would look at a rotating kaleidoscope, or even like a small motion picture would be inside that machine. It's also where the word Nickelodeon comes from.
They had one on Shining Time Station, didn't they?
Yes,
I think
I was
we're
thinking
looking-
of that too. In Thomas the Train Engine, yeah,
Yeah.
they did. That's where actually I ran into it because I never really saw a real life Nickelodeon kaleidoscope machine.
I mean, yeah. It was clearly an old timey thing back in like the show was what, the 80s, 90s?
The
Yeah.
late 80s, right? It was like
Yeah.
this relic of the Thomas Edison era. Did you watch Naughty also?
Say again?
Naughty, the British
No.
gumball gum thing.
No.
Okay.
I remember Shining Time Station, but not
Okay.
it's probably my first
Impossible to get it any
introduction to
clearer,
actually.
Uhura. Are you sure about that? It's not a sort of binary, Spock. It's just the episode The
Morse
Alternative Factor played in reverse.
Morse code.
It's a sort of binary, which makes you wonder, like,
Quantum.
like
Yeah. What
mean,
does
like,
it actually mean?
what's sort of binary?
Is it hexadecimal?
Is it just the Star Trek thing where everything is sort of something?
So, binary is binary. Either it is or it isn't. There is no sort of binary.
Well,
No, but if
you're objectively wrong because Spock just said there is.
yeah, but
Or Spock is
if you listen though, it was just like a telegraph
Spock
Morse
is
code being
wrong.
played over the audio. So Morse code is binary, right? Or it's just a dot and a dash.
Morse code is not.
It's not computer
I guess
binary.
gaps too, so it's really ternary.
There's just two kinds of signals. Telegraphs are old technology. I've been trying to learn
Some
Morse
sort
code
of
actually.
message. Why?
Um,
Gonna tap out secret messages when you're at work?
Did you see Interstellar?
yeah.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, I just watched it the other night because I didn't have anything else to do. I hadn't seen it before.
So good.
Yeah, it's really
Sorry,
good.
wait. In Star Trek
There was a
4,
couple little
there's a Morse
nitpicks,
code
but I
when
can
they-
overlook it because of how much they get right, and like the
Yeah.
space scenes are so good. When they're
Yeah.
in space and there's no sound at all. Oh, I love it. Anyway, go ahead.
And like, we now know what black holes look like thanks to that movie.
Well, they discovered that before they made the movie, right? And they modeled it into the movie.
Well, they discovered that in the
they-
process of making the movie.
Yeah.
Because they did a bunch of
Interesting.
math to make their black hole look right. And it's like, wait, that's weird. Why does it look like this?
Yeah.
So there was a couple little nitpicks when they were talking about the blight and then it breathes nitrogen, and I'm like, okay, so they never explain it, which is good because if they explain it, they probably would paint themselves into a corner. But like, what would breathe nitrogen, and what would it exhale? And nitrogen is it's a noble gas, so like, why would you breathe nitrogen? I just it doesn't
We all
aid
breathe
in any type
nitrogen.
of
I primarily breathe
yeah,
nitrogen
but we don't
myself.
do anything. Yeah, but we
Yeah.
don't do anything with the nitrogen. It's just a buffered gas. I don't. Anyway, that was a problem, and there was one other little nitpick I had. I'm trying to remember what it was. Like the robots were weird. Like they're supposed to be military robots, and like I can't see that robot embedded with like soldiers on a mission because like has like a glowing screen on the front. Like it's just weird. I feel like it would give away your position. But yeah, I feel like a humanoid robot would make more sense because you could put a humanoid robot in a Humvee, and you can't put that thing in a Humvee really, not easily.
I really love the design though. Like 3 rectangular blocks can make a formidable machine.
Yeah.
It was
design
neat.
cool.
It was cool. It's just it was visually cool, just totally impractical when you think about it. But
Mm.
I was so mad at Anne Hathaway's character. Like during the
Yeah.
whole movie, I was just so mad at her.
That was frustrating.
But that haircut was
Christopher
just
Nolan is just not right with
chef's kiss.
So in Star Trek 5, Scotty breaks them out of the Starfleet prison with the Morse code. Stand back.
Stand back, yeah. Yeah.
But this Nomad is pretty great too. But again, Star Trek: The Motion Picture, the plot is basically turned into this. It's this giant V'ger machine.
So did Nomad murder that entire civilization of 4 billion people?
Yeah.
So that now makes what, 2 probes that Earth has sent out that destroyed entire species?
Yeah. Its job is to find the maker, and you're not the maker, you're going to be nuked.
If this probe was built in like the 1960s, why does it hover?
This is
They
the
don't
early
need power
2000s.
source.
Wasn't the part of the thing that it encountered some type of alien thing and it got
Yeah.
absorbed,
Got
melded,
some
upgraded?
upgrades?
Same thing as V'ger.
Yeah. Yeah, this episode's just kind of a V'ger, like V'ger's a ripoff of this episode, yeah.
But this episode, quite correctly, doesn't draw it out for 3 hours. Again,
Yeah.
we get the idea.
There's also the Voyager episode where they find
But-
they find like this android thing that's really a relic from a war, and B, the other find this missile that the Doctor thinks is sentient.
We don't get that. We don't get the scene where the girl comes on the bridge and goes, "My oath of celibacy is on record." What was her name? What's her
Ileana?
name?
Ilea.
Ilea.
Ileana? Not
I
Ileana.
love
Who's
this thing.
Ileana?
This is a rare occasion where Earreview got it right. Sorry, I'm too
Do
hard.
I
on you.
nobody's name someone named Ileana? Who's Ileana?
Diana is from there. too.
Ilea.
Oh, this is the
Ilea and Decker were the prototypes for
Oh.
Riker and Deanna.
I looked up I looked up the name Ileana. Ileana was the name that time Kira was turned into a Cardassian.
Right. Remember, there's this like Cardassian who has like paternal feelings for her.
Yeah, her name when they thought she was a Cardassian was Ileana.
You are the sister.
So another funny thing about this episode, apparently, like Kirk's ancestor was the programmer of this weapon of mass destruction.
I don't know. He seems pretty yes mad to me. You get it? No, man, just kill them. Well, I mean, at least he's good at his job. I can get behind that. That's fine. Does good work. No, don't tell him it's incorrect, Kirk. Yes, Jesus. Okay, Spock figured out what's going on.
Spock is pretty unethical here.
Spock has seen Ghostbusters. If someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes.
Yeah.
The the Picard. He brings life and death. I really like. I gotta say, Strange New Worlds. Their thing of the Hushnak of the asteroid, which is like a holy asteroid.
And I want to point out their name isn't actually Hushnok. They just said that because the dude was old.
So I feel like that was one of the best portrayal of like religion on Star Trek, and there's plenty of good examples of religion on Star Trek.
Oh, is Mr. Singh gonna die?
I
Is he
believe
about to
so.
get disintegrated?
Sounds likely.
Not on the away team. It doesn't count.
Right.
In TNG, I think it is the Q episode. Q Who. They have a Lieutenant Singh also, played by an Indian actor, and he freezes to death. He's the first person to die on the in the show.
Uhura, why are you singing over the comm?
Because she's the musical talent on the ship.
A reason to sing over the comm.
Sing, you're
You
so
don't
bad
She's
at your
bored.
job. How
look.
did you not notice?
Yeah.
You don't sing over the comm at your job.
No.
Hmm. Remember, she was singing when Spock was playing the harp. Roy Kirk. That's his ancestor.
Well, we don't know that they're actually related.
All right. Close enough.
Yeah, I don't know if this is really going to be helpful. Because it's clearly not the same probe that was built in the dark
Yeah,
times.
it didn't just manage to repair itself. That would be pretty impressive feat.
And gain the firepower to destroy entire worlds seems
Right.
unlikely.
Yeah.
Oh, so the Borg over here, foreshadowing.
Mostly, I'm just wondering now if the salamanders would be considered perfect because they're supposed to be like 10,000 years of evolution or something.
Right.
What about the guy the salamander kids that Janeway and Paris had? God, I had a brain fart on that one.
So this episode is in the 60s. That's fine. Why did Voyager and TNG plug in foreign machines into the main computer, or allow them to roam freely like this?
What do you mean? Do you not
What?
plug in USBs to your work computer?
No. we
Yeah,
do
a
not.
random USB you found in the
Yeah.
parking lot. Plug it into
How
your
else
work
are you going to
computer.
find out
Great
what's
idea.
on it?
You plug it into a burner machine that's not connected to any network whatsoever.
But what if it contains software that compels the computer to build itself a wireless antenna and then it infects your network anyway?
Yeah,
Right.
well then I think you met your match, I guess, at that point.
In
You've invested.
the motion picture, we have this scene too, because we have a probe that's like flashing lightning all over the ship, and it scans Lieutenant Alia.
It is imperfect. Ooh, fancy
You should be
CGI.
like, God, you're really dense, huh?
Wait, why do we...
Wow.
Alright, he's dead. Cool.
It's like that scene when BB-8 kind of zaps the thing. Oh no, that's in Andor too.
BB-8.
When or R2, they all zap. They got that
BB-8
zap.
isn't in Andor.
He's already dies again.
Yes. Excellent.
Is Dottie the Ken of the Star Trek TOS series?
You don't
Tweens
have
means
screens,
shields
Nomad.
in this concept, in this construct.
Repair him.
It's fine. We don't need Scotty. We can just go back to a starbase and get a new engineer. It's fine.
Wait. Is Scotty the Worf of TOS? he just exists to get zapped.
Yeah.
I was thinking more Chief O'Brien.
Yeah.
No, he is like Worf though, because
Well,
he just
like
went charging after that thing.
he every time the new alien comes aboard the Enterprise, Worf like attacks him and gets his face kicked in. Yes.
No, don't do it.
I mean,
I really like
Oh,
the
you
little
fool.
satellite.
I require duct tape.
I really like the little satellite dishes on the exterior of this Nomad thing. You know, futuristic aesthetic.
Is it though?
Well, I mean, we just started putting satellites into space, so
Your computer is insufficient.
This shelving unit doesn't stay together. It's gonna have to do something about this. I kind of got screwed on Marketplace. Oh man.
Back in the day, everyone's car used to have this like giant antenna sticking out of it, so you could get radio.
Well, a lot of cars still do, but now many cars have it built
It's
into
so
the windshield. But they have external antennas if you have satellite radio. They're just a little nub, little shark
It's-
fin antenna.
It's been so long since I've had a car with the actual.
What do you drive?
I mean, it's been Toyota Camrys, Toyota Venzas, Lexus MDX.
What do
RDX.
you personally own?
Mazda
What's the VIN?
CRV,
Honda CRV?
Mazda CXV. Actually, my parents drive. I don't drive. But I'm just saying,
Oh,
we've
okay.
gone through a whole bunch of cars. None of those cars have, in the past 10, 15 years, have antennas. Wow.
Truly advanced. He didn't even have to wave a blinky light over him. He just fixed him straight up.
But this is the thing that just genocided 4 billion people. Like it was nothing.
Unit Scott.
There was a Strange New World episode. What was it? They switched. They made Spock fully human because the machine didn't
Yes.
understand that he wasn't he wasn't defective because it
Broken.
was broken. Yeah.
Because they looked at Nurse Chapel and they're like, all
Yeah.
right, we'll make him match
Yeah.
Nurse Chapel. Which would have been funnier if he was also a Nurse Chapel.
Or they could have fixed his gender.
Sure, I guess.
I mean, the thing says, right, if the information you gave to me was correct.
I like how they're like, this is highly irregular. This is a complaint outside of the complaint window.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
It was like just a horrible bureaucratic customer
Nightmare.
service line. Like you're beyond your return window. You can't start a return on this product.
Yeah, and so Lieutenant Uhura now knows literally nothing. She is mentally a baby again.
This is
they're
the
just
weird
gonna
part. But
train her?
she's a linguistic genius, and she's learning
Not
her
anymore.
mama, dada, gaga. She's like being spoon-fed applesauce right now.
Applesauce.
So
you
that's
say.
going to have to be a recurring thing through the rest of the show, as they rehabilitate and re-educate Uhura.
Yes,
Oh,
it's
wait.
definitely
Be a
gonna
long,
You mean they
slow
don't forget
process.
about it
Next
by next
episode.
episode?
We're going to
Nurse
have a nice
Chapel's-
cutaway scene where she's at a hospital, and we'll occasionally cut. There'll be a bit of a medical drama going on.
Nurse Chapel is showing her like phonics cards. Flashcards.
Phonics worked for me. Well, Uhura is supposed to be a polyglot, right?
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. So she it knows dozens of languages. She writes the dictionary basically on like Strange New Worlds points out, she's one of the most preeminent linguists of Starfleet.
She's not even a Starfleet officer in Strange New Worlds. She's just like an intern.
And here she is like reduced to no memory. And a couple of weeks to get her up to speed on like what she was before.
Quick, Spock, kill it. See, Brock, acquire. Acquire,
Brock.
Brock.
Acquire.
Acquire.
This is
Gets
sad.
me every time.
This is really sad. Sorry, guys. It's very like.
She'll be better in 20 minutes. It's fine.
Okay. Oh, she's switching to her. How does she switch to her native language if she
Swahili?
forgot
I got
everything?
that. The dog has acquired profits. Come on.
Rehabilitation is really sad and depressing. Like small victories like that are major milestones. Like when somebody has to relearn how to walk and they take one step on their own, it's usually joyful, but you can also understand the person's in a lot of like depression because it took me weeks to learn how to take that one step. I'm still pretty much handicapped. She's gonna be watching VHS for the next.
Profitable. Valuable.
They couldn't imagine a world without tape media.
English is a really hard language to learn, by the way. Imagine having to go through that all over again, where bluey is not bluey.
What if we, instead of English, taught her a language that makes sense?
Esperanto.
Yeah, we really need to switch to a constructed language without all this nonsense built in.
Yeah.
Elvish.
Elvish,
Klingon.
I don't know about Elvish.
You said constructed language.
Yeah,
Klingon.
a constructed language that's good, though. Elvish is all flowery. And besides, I only know one thing of in Elvish, and it's only one sort of Elvish. It is Ajnaj Durbataluk Ajnaj Kimbatul Ajnaj Tharakataluk Akboruzumishi Krimpatul.
No, it really is
Wait,
ridiculous.
is
though.
that Alexander Siddig's full name?
Yes, Dr. Bashir, played by Ajnaj Durbataluk.
So it really is ridiculous though. Like almost every other language that I know of, Spanish, Hindi, Hebrew, Arabic, every word is spelled the same way it sounds. There's no ambiguity between
Yeah.
the transcription of a word and the phonetics of the syllables.
English and French are messy languages. You know.
Hey
Yeah,
man, you know what? English, love it or leave it.
It
it's just one of those hodgepodge languages.
is.
But you know, I
Is he doing
Yeah.
a mind
Yeah,
meld with a machine?
don't worry about it. He melted
V'ger.
with a rock a few episodes ago. It's
he
fine.
he does it with V'ger in the motion picture. I like the Horta mind meld better. Pain, the agony of the centuries.
So I've been looking up to see if someone actually made a Seabrook Acquire book. I'm not seeing one. I don't think anyone's made it.
You're not seeing one?
I'm not seeing that anybody made an actual book about
Published.
Seabrook Acquire.
I think that should be a server project. We
I mean,
should-
it's a children's book. The writing should take all of 5 minutes.
yeah, and I'll do some illustration. Someone else could do the colorizing.
Colorizing?
You know, someone draws, the other person colors.
These shelves are largely useless. This is really frustrating. I don't even have 3 good shelves.
This mind meld is like 3 minutes too long.
Yeah. Like we've gotten the point at this point.
That's just TOS in general.
Yeah.
Scenes always go on longer than they really need to.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes there's actual like tension being drawn out or something that we wouldn't see nowadays. This scene definitely just went too long.
Come on, let Spock sterilize.
So
Speaking of
Spock would
Spock puts
love
on
a
his
genocide.
rubber gloves and Mr. Clean and starts mopping the whole Enterprise.
What if I just had a mental image of a Dalek from Doctor Who in a French maid outfit, right? Sterilize, sterilize, sterilize.
It's a clone? So they merged two robots together
Mm.
and made a murder drone.
Genocide.
Not a great plan.
It's sterilized biological samples.
The Changeling? You can't just title drop the episode like that.
Yeah. Oh yes. This is sophisticated probe.
That
Has
thing behind
taste.
that thing behind Kirk, that's the chute where they plug in or they like fix the wiring all the time. It shows up in the motion pictures too. So this machine is starting to figure out that's not Roy Kirk.
Kill them, Nomad. Wipe them out.
None of these red shirts are counting towards our total
No?
today.
Nope.
Lots of death.
Scotty.
Oh, is he gonna blow up the warp core? Do it, Nomad. Oh, they're gonna have to paradox him to death, aren't they?
Yeah.
Possibly.
You called it, Ryan. You said it in the
Yeah.
Adonais episode. This is the part where they give it conflicting orders too. Are you perfect, Nomad? Then destroy yourself.
Well, Nomad's not a life form. Surely it's exempt from that rule.
That is the thing. In Isaac Asimov, all robots have this imperative: you shall not kill a human being. And I think one is also obey a human being. And after some
Unless it-
centuries,
What
They have
if
different rules. The first is it won't let a human come to harm. It won't harm a human. It won't disobey a human, and it won't destroy itself. So it won't disobey a human as long as it doesn't break any of the other rules, destroying itself or harming a human.
it's fine? It's so easy to
So-
get around those rules. All we have to let it do is like absorb Twitter, and it'll start thinking
Right.
stop thinking of large groups as human.
right.
And do whatever it wants.
So right. So over time, as the programming starts to just develop, the robots eventually realize that, well, we can kill humans if they're trying to kill us, for example, or they're trying to enslave us.
Leave the upgrades, dude.
It d-
Put the excess power into structural integrity fields. and
Well-
balance it.
Do they want to ask Nomad, how do you bring people back from the dead? Because that's kind of useful.
No, Kirk.
No.
Kirk, careful.
You just gave away your trump card.
I mean, I'm kind of with Nomad there, to
Yeah.
be honest.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
you're
I
just gonna
wanna-
support the machines genociding us, Ryan?
Yeah, yeah,
Thanks.
something, certainty of steel.
Yeah, shut off the flesh.
Yeah, I don't need it.
You want the Mechanicus? Get the Mechanicus, like chant. There was a work
Alright.
glove
Go into the Matrix pod and
package.
give up all your energy, Ryan. You agree to take the blue pill then?
I don't want to go into the, well, the Matrix might be okay, but that's not really my point. I just want to replace all the flesh bits with metal bits.
Yeah, but you're
Still
giving the
exist in the real
machines all the
physical
power.
world, just as a metal man.
Okay. Do you want to live forever?
Yes, and I intend to.
Have you
So
heard
far,
of the
so good,
legend
eh?
of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Yes, it's a story the Sith
Not
would
a
tell
story
you.
the Jedi would tell you.
Darth Plagueis was a Dark Lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise he could use the Force to influence the midichlorians to create
Good.
life. He had such a knowledge of the dark side, he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying. Because the dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities, some considered to be unnatural. But, he became so powerful, the only thing he was afraid of was losing his power, which eventually, of course, he did. Unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he knew, and then his apprentice
you-
killed him in his sleep.
Would you freeze your brain so you could wake up 1,000 years from now and maybe put it into like a vat or like a
Cloned
machine?
body.
Yeah,
Cloned body. Yeah,
something.
Well,
probably
the
it,
issue
dude.
there is I kind of expect us all to genocide each other by then, so I don't know if that's a good plan long term.
Okay.
Genocide each other.
Yeah, I expect nuclear war by then.
There's gonna
I
be a
mean-
nuclear war in our lifetime, dude.
So yeah, I'm not banking on it. Oh, I can see the plywood. I can see it.
Yeah, I
They
can
didn't
see the
even
plywood
paint it.
too. They didn't paint it here.
I don't know if you realize this.
I
But
guess.
Realize the
definitely nuclear
plywood?
war in our lifetime. No.
I mean,
What do you want? A temporal agent or something?
Am I a temporal agent? I can't tell you
Yeah.
if I were.
I mean,
Sure you
if
could.
we got through the Cold War without a nuclear war, then it's possible we'll get through another 50 years without one. But
Well, the problem is the problem is nuclear proliferation. You didn't have North Korea, India, Pakistan, China with
Israel.
nukes, and you didn't have a madman on the button in Russia. You know what I'm saying?
Iran, Israel.
Okay, so a few more, but like I was just kind of talking about the major players right now.
yeah,
And
Oh,
I guess yeah,
ironically,
Israel's kicking off. Huh?
Nuclear weapons have led to more peace because countries kind of know that there's no winners of nuclear war. All been proxy wars. Countries don't actually fight each other since the
I mean,
invention of
proxy
nuclear weapons.
wars kill plenty of people though.
Yeah, but we're not nuking each other though. That's what I'm saying.
Yet.
Oh, it's okay as long as the people who are dying are in a third world country far away. Is what you're
It's
saying.
how the game look. Nobody's.
That's what you said. That's what you said.
I just have a degree in
point-
international relations.
The only thing that matters is we need to go through World War III and post-atomic war to get to the communist space future and go to, get to replicators in Star Trek.
Hold on. I'm so glad you brought that up because I've been thinking about that. In Star Trek, okay, you know the economic system in Star Trek doesn't survive any type of critical examination. But clearly there's 3 classes of citizens on Earth in Star Trek. There's the people who are lucky enough to inherit property and have some type of family estate that they own. There's people lucky enough to live in government housing on Earth, like in apartments and things like that they don't really own, but they get to live there. And then there's the people who are condemned to live on other planets where horrific things happen, like you get slaughtered by Cardassians, or your entire colony gets scooped up by the Borg, or eaten by a
Yeah, those people
crystal
could go
entity.
back to Earth and get in a government apartment if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Could they though? I feel
They
like
choose
there's
not
a
to.
limited amount. I feel like there's a limited amount of apartments.
Not necessarily. Maybe
Plus, there's plenty of other planets you could go, be a terraformer.
All you need is like a 4-foot
Yeah,
wide
okay.
mini
So you
holodeck,
go
and your apartment is infinitely large. It's fine.
you go be a terraformer, and then you get attacked by some type of silicon creature that you didn't know was there, and is upset that you're affecting their
There's civilian
Um,
science programs. There's all kinds of stuff to do. You could
habitat.
be a freighter like Cassidy Yates.
Yeah, so live in a ship. So you're living in a ship where at any time you could be destroyed, just by an accident, and you're
Yeah,
in
I
the
mean, I
void.
gotta take the bus to go to work.
It's
The bus could be destroyed too.
yeah, but if you like, if something happens, if the bus gets in an accident and you fall out of the bus, you don't die instantaneously, like necessarily. Like you might die in a car accident, you might die in a wreck, but like if anything happens to a ship, you're pretty much screwed.
Look, we have a
Help
space-based economy.
is very far away.
We have a space-based economy. Colonize for Earth, everybody's happy. We have a scientific utopia. We trick robots into existence and non-existence. Nomad is wrong.
It cannot be. It is perfect.
Yeah, the machine sterilizes itself. They start playing with the pitches.
Why do they gotta murder the machine? Why can't they just send it to the, that jail for evil robots?
right.
To Rutha Pente.
But this is the maglev devices, by the way. We don't really see it we see it in one episode of TNG.
So
When they're
I'm
look-
looking for the book about that Seabrook acquires based on Sea Spot Run. I can't
Mhm.
find it anywhere.
Really?
Where'd you get this book?
I know I've seen it, but it's been years.
Okay, let me rephrase. I can't find a PDF of it despite the fact that it's totally public domain.
Is it public domain? It's kind of old.
I
It's
think
not that
so.
old, is it?
Isn't it from like the 60s?
I don't think stuff from the 60s is automatically public domain. Publishers have worked really hard to extend
Yeah, and
copyrights.
the internet works really hard to undermine all that.
Yeah. No, so I mean, a PDF should be findable. I feel like that's still a reasonable statement, but not for reasons of lapse of copyright.
Have you tried just Google imaging it?
I'm continuing my searches. There's a movie called Sea Spot Run, apparently.
It was a romantic comedy, wasn't it?
Maybe.
Within a week, she's going to relearn all of her stuff. So for the next
worry about
episode,
that.
she's good to go.
Oh no, the book is called Fun with Dick and Jane, not called Sea Spot Run.
But as far as I can tell, that's like a collection of short stories.
Oh.
And
I did
I've
not
only
know that.
found some of them.
At this point, has he conceived his son?
Yes.
So he has a son he doesn't
Yep.
even know about.
No, he
Yep.
does. He's been mentioned in Strange New Worlds.
He's been mentioned what?
His son is
He
currently in
doesn't
the
know
womb.
about his son.
Yes, he does.
He doesn't. What are you talking about? In Wrath of Khan, he has no idea who he is.
No,
He has
does.
no
He
idea
says,
he even
I did
had
as
a
you
son.
asked. I did as you asked and stayed away.
I stayed away. Yeah, I knew about the kid. The kid that was a drug addict in TNG. All right,
What are you
so the
talking
last episode is Mirror, Mirror. 1 minute to Mirror, Mirror.
Hey,
I
excellent.
don't know what Ryan's comment was, but I did. But it does know about his
Finally,
son.
mirror, mirror, huh?
Yes.
Are you saying the guy who played Kirk's son played one of the drug addicts in Symbiosis?
Yeah,
Ah, right.
he shocked a dude with his magic fingers.
I'm gonna put that in my dating profile. Docking magic fingers. Okay.
So how do we think for this episode there are going to be any male characters who do not have beards? You have 5 seconds to answer.
I honestly
5,
don't remember.
4, 3.
I have a feeling that
I think
Two,
Sulu
one,
doesn't have a beard.
Play.
Okay, probably not. Yeah, I'm just thinking.
Do they give Sulu a Fu Manchu? I bet you they give him a Fu Manchu.
Okay. It
They
sounds
wouldn't. They wouldn't go that far.
A goatee.
That's too far
It's
even
the
for
60s.
Jane. Oh my god, I thought this was like a stage play they were participating in. No, they're serious. No, they don't. The crystals don't do anything by themselves.
This is like the chick you meet from the dating app that's into crystals and the crystal power.
I mean, in Lower Decks, there is a whole crystal-based society. They're in the pilot, I believe, or maybe episode 2. How? How is it affecting them in space?
because it's an ion storm in space. It's
It's
Star
not
Trek
just
straight with it.
like a lightning storm on the planet.
There's an ion storm.
You gotta be hopeful, ain't you?
No, they already told you they believe you're benevolent right now. That was their whole point.
Yeah.
You might come back later and take them. My god. Okay. 4 more deaths. The entire away team is dead.
Oh wow, that was cheesy.
Oh, they didn't even change the coloring on this version.
Okay,
Okay.
it's just Spock.
Lieutenant Kyle doesn't have one.
They
Look at
don't
that.
either.
So was this intentionally modeled after the Nazi salute?
Oh, I'm sure it was.
It's very sketch.
They want you to understand that they're fascists, so
Yeah.
People being
like-
people being really apprehensive about using Nazis as like villains and things is a recent development.
Yes. Kill them. Well, you should have tried harder, Kyle. It's not his fault you suck at your job. Now, I assume they got this technology from conflict with the Klingons. It's just like a mini pain stick.
Yeah.
Probably.
But yeah, I noticed when they were doing that switch back and forth, in the future, like in Enterprise, or the past, like an Enterprise, the ship changes from red coloring to yellow coloring. But here, it's the exact same. They didn't repaint.
Hmm.
It's
Uh,
still
The
NCC.
interior lighting
Cheers.
which was explained in Discovery, which was cute.
Just about on that last line.
Something about being cute.
Discovery.
Sorry, Discovery, the fact
Yeah,
that the
no,
lighting
you're-
is turned down.
Terra Firma.
He's secretly a space alien, and
Terra
his
Firma.
That sounds
English
more like
translator is broken.
Microsoft Sam.
It's weird. Okay, so it's not my head. I know it's wrong.
Whatever happened to Microsoft Sam?
Microsoft Bob. What happened to Microsoft Bob?
Terra Firma.
The ship
You know,
is not subtly altered physically, Captain. Well, I guess if they
No,
did put decals up.
Inside it is, yeah. The lights are down.
So you know,
Because
this
as we know, everybody in the Mirror universe is light sensitive.
Yep.
I mean, even in
enjoy
Lord of the
that.
Rings, the Nazgul are afraid of the fire and the water.
Yeah, I'm in the wrong dimension.
So the sad thing is, any kind of like arm in the air salute is viewed as like a Nazi gesture.
Before the Nazis appropriated it, the Bellamy salute was used in the United States for Pledge of Allegiance, and it's very similar.
Oof.
So if you look up old-timey black and white photos of like school children in the US,
Oh,
Yeah, I've got a picture like
Really?
that I used
Huh.
to make a meme. People didn't get it.
all right.
I made a picture with it. It said like one nation under surveillance, liberty and justice for none.
so Mira McCoy is just really messy.
Huh.
What's with all the chemicals on the table?
Yeah.
It sounds like you support the Kaiser Robo.
What? No,
I'm kidding.
it's satirical.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Messing with you.
The Kaiser.
This is one of the
The
greatest episodes. of
Kaiser
all-
Wilhelm
The first.
was probably infinitely better for Germany than Hitler was.
Yeah. So this episode is one of the greatest episodes of all time. It spawned numerous others. But D69 did the best job with the mirrors, though, I feel.
He goes straight to
Good
parallel
job.
universe. There's no messing around with it this episode.
Huh.
Yeah. And what I love is I didn't notice this the first time I watched it when I was a kid, but it's all about whether this planet is going to give dilithium to the Klingons or the Federation. And they're totally nonviolent. and that's why they sent them there, to show that like you could have a federation that acts like the Klingons. We're gonna take your dilithium because we feel like it.
I keep expecting them. They keep talking about what they think their counterparts are doing. I keep expecting a hard cut to the Enterprise with like Evil Kirk screaming at them.
Yeah, yeah.
But we're just still here on this scene. Come on. Give us
Yeah, we don't get.
All
We
right.
still have like half the episode until we see.
I think Spock figures it out immediately and puts them in
Yeah.
the brick.
They don't even like leave the transporter room before he.
Because I think he orders them to bomb the planet below, basically.
Cold. No. Is that like a little model solar system on her earring? Oh, even the machines make evil noises when they move.
And I love the militaristic music in the background. Very
It's literally the exact same music as the rest of the show. What do you mean?
they're playing it in a very fashy way.
She?
It's in a minor key.
Uhura, stab him.
It's almost like the Imperial March from Star Wars. I gotta
So
say,
people in the universe have no work discipline.
I love Giorgio as Empress in Discovery, or that we got the Empress from the other universe to come to our side.
Yeah. She was a fun character.
Yeah. But also the idea that like if the Emperor does go soft, everybody around them is gonna be like, you can't rule by these ethics.
Come on. Kill them, Captain. Do it. This isn't even your universe. It's fine. It doesn't count.
Like, doesn't Giorgio want to institute important reforms in the Terran Empire by the end of her arc?
Well, by the end of her arc, she's wait. No, she goes back to the mirror universe, doesn't she?
Yeah, yeah.
No, I think she doesn't go back to the mirror universe, I don't think. Doesn't she just like go back in time?
No, she becomes a guardian of the traveler. You know, the Watchers.
Who?
That doesn't sound right. I don't
Giorgio.
think that's true. I'm making that up.
It
Sorry,
just
I'm
with her in
might
the,
be confusing with the
first
Wesley
season,
thing.
after they go into the future. They find out that
Like,
they've separated from the mirror universe now.
right.
Can't
So-
and then
remember to Georgia though.
Yeah, so he sends her back in time to a period where the universes
Before-
are closer together,
right, the divergence.
and where she can go hang out in the Section 31 movie that's never going to happen.
Okay, thanks.
Right.
Thanks
That's
for the-
right.
Thank you for the correction, guys.
Seriously, it's never happening. I don't care what they say. It doesn't
Oh.
exist.
They're doing it here too. The fact that Kirk's like trying to be nice to them, they're like, "What? Why aren't we bombing them?" You're not getting the dilithium.
I mean, that sounds like resistance to me, Halcan.
It is interesting that the Halcons are identical in both universes.
Yeah.
Once
That
again,
is
please
true.
refer to the Deep Space Nine episode with Rom talking about. It's like, but our Brunt is evil, so he would poison us, but this Brunt is good, so he wouldn't. But he's giving us tube grubs, and in our universe, tube grubs are good, so here they must be poison. But they can't be poisoned because Brunt is nice, so he would never. Don't worry about it. Questioning the captain, Mr. Spock. Maybe you need some time in the agonizer.
I thought Discovery did an amazing job because they have the same power dynamic here, where like someone's gonna try to take power the moment you step out of the door. There's gonna be like this mutiny every time you go around the corner. There's someone
Chekhov,
waiting for you.
though? Chekhov's the one committing mutiny? Have you guys seen The Good Place?
Yes.
No.
This is like the time
So good.
Jason figured it out. Jason? Come on.
Yeah.
Chekhov is the one?
Everyone should watch The Good Place, though.
Something else really
Oh, good,
interesting
now is not the
is
time for a log.
never touched on after this episode. Kirk has a device in his room that can let him kill anybody
Yeah, it's
just
called
by
a gun.
pointing the camera at you. And that's
Still
how he's
called a
been able
gun.
to maintain power. And then he gives, I think, Spock that power before he leaves back to our world. But I remember reading a book by an Israeli spy, and he said that they had the technology, they could reconstruct a conversation in a room hours later from the sound waves that are still vibrating around in the room. And I'm like reading a newspaper review later, and like somebody said the technology does not exist, and I'm like, yeah, that part of the spy biography was definitely BS.
Naughty.
Some sort of blood.
Who won?
I also got to say, I love the Imperial uniforms. Their design, the sash, the cloak and phaser on each hip, the knife. I love the golden sashes.
Oh my god, it's an alternate universe, so it's a male voice.
Yeah.
It's all
Wow.
coming together. It all makes sense.
Well, some countries are motherland, some countries are fatherland. So it's kind of interesting. I have a theory that the ones that are fatherland are a little more militaristic.
I mean, I'm familiar with one fatherland and one motherland, and they're both pretty militaristic.
True, true, true. Let me take that back.
Well, one of them still is. One of them used to be.
Yeah, you're right, though. I mean, the fatherland country was not any less militaristic than the motherland country, though, historically. They subjugated entire continents in the name of that motherland or fatherland, all the same. Oh, wow, he has knives in the back.
He said I'm a doctor, not something, and it wasn't sarcastic. He was merely stating a fact this time.
Engineer, yeah.
He wasn't, yeah. It's usually much more grumpy than that.
But that particular one gets reversed in Discovery with, oh, what's her name? Tignataro?
Reno.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reno. She's when she saves her crew and people show up and it's like, wait, you're an engineer, not a doctor.
Yeah. Taro is great.
Do we know how the Terran Empire fell? I mean, we know sort of generally Mr. Spock is at fault. Do we know any of the specifics? Because at some point, the aliens take over.
Yeah. And Picard makes a point of that too, by the way, because we go to the alternate universe in Picard.
Well, Picard, we get a version of the Terran Empire that's actually competent in their evil.
Yeah, true. They're actually still winning.
Ah, there's the cut.
Yep.
Oh,
Except it wasn't exactly a cut. They, like, rotated the frame along an axis. They did a spin transition.
The quantum spin is different in this universe. I like how so in the alternate universe the Vulcans are like just the pets for Starfleet. We use them, but we have no respect for them. So funny thing is, this is great for introducing certain scientific concepts to the public, but there's like infinite alternate universes. So it's not just like
well, that's
one timeline.
possible interpretation of quantum mechanics. Yes.
Yeah, like every time you make a decision like coffee or tea, that will result in a different quantum universe.
That's,
Well,
that's one possible interpretation.
my opinion on that is that due to conservation of energy, every single possibility already exists
Right,
in under that thought.
right. The multiple worlds universe hypothesis.
My interpretation of this is our universe is the best universe.
Yeah.
The others only exist to be exploited.
Did you ever see the Jet Li movie, The One?
No.
So the premise of The One is that there's all these parallel realities, right? And your like life force is spread out between all of your parallel selves. And this guy figures out how to jump between the parallel realities, and he starts killing off his parallel selves. And as he's killing off his parallel selves, he's becoming more powerful, right? And it gets down to
Okay.
Jet Li. It's a flimsy premise just so Jet Li could fight Jet Li.
Hang on.
But-
Is there internal consistency there? Do the alternate versions of Jelly also get more powerful?
Yes, but like
Okay.
the alternate versions don't realize what's going on. They don't know how to fight. But then he runs into the Jet Li, who's like, who
The
figures
Jelly
out
who
what's
brought a
going on.
gun?
Yeah, the Jet Li brought a gun. I think at the end he's like basically bulletproof. Well, anyway.
Yeah, Spock is like telling him, "Look, you have no choice but to start bombing, and like the sooner the better. Like every minute you delay, it means there's going to be more threats to your command."
Oh, think about it like this. Every minute we delay, there's more of them down on the planet to genocide. They keep breeding.
Filthy Xenos do that. But like the the Mirror universe and the Warhammer 40k universe are just like the same.
So the
Not the
word
same, but
draconian comes to mind. There was this ancient Greek dictator. His name was Draco. So anytime like somebody wants to pass like a lot of laws, just because they like want to like throw people in jail for violating this merest law, it's called draconian. But so if you're in that world, it's not immoral to be a ruthless dictator.
Well,
I mean,
no, just
no,
because everyone else
but
is
yes.
around you is evil doesn't mean you have to be evil.
Yeah.
Just because everybody else jumped off a cliff doesn't mean you have to jump off a cliff.
Yeah, no, there's clearly a limit to how much
Just-
evil you're like allowed to perpetrate.
Just because all your friends are doing it doesn't mean you have to do it too.
I don't recognize her. Is she normally on the crew?
No.
Quite a tussle, is that what you said?
Who has this role in Strange New Worlds? It's
or in the original series for that matter. I don't know if she's.
I
Oh,
don't,
she,
yeah, I don't
the
recognize her at
captain's
all.
woman?
yeah, who she
Oh,
has
I see what you
the
mean.
yeah.
Captain's woman.
Yeah.
Emperor Kirk. Why do I get the feeling he should murder her?
Yeah.
Is
Oh, for sure.
she's scheming, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's the Mirror Universe, so
It's-
everybody's scheming, but,
It's
Right.
how
imminent
you
schemes.
advance to the top. Look, you have choices. This is your choice. You could be the extremely seductive.
They're like super Klingons.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
It's a really cool mask behind Spock. The helmet statue.
Oh, Evil Spock still plays chess. Oh, that sounds like a good deal. See, that's Klingon logic. You don't just kill someone because you feel like it, you kill someone because they're not doing their job. Everybody else in this universe is just stabbing people on a whim.
Like a pinch on the neck from Mr. Spock.
Do they use that term in Discovery? That sounds familiar. I don't know what it is, but Tantalus field. I feel like I've heard that.
This is that the technology I was talking about. He can see anybody from a different room and kill them.
Does she have access to this? Is this like password protected at least? Because this seems really dangerous.
And she's expositing the whole thing for him.
Yeah, very helpful.
Convenient. As you know, Captain, this device, if you press this specific button,
Right.
Is the source of all your power.
That button looks really worn down. How much has he been pressing it?
Yeah, quite a bit apparently, 50 or 100 times.
Do you remember Garrick having the joy button?
Yeah, and in retrospect, the first couple episodes with Garrick, he really seems like he's drugged.
What should I believe? The lies, especially the lies.
Marlena. Hang on, I need to Google. Who's Marlena?
Marlena. He's Marlena. She's talking in the third person.
No, I know, but
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay, so
see,
apparently
does she have a prime
real
time?
Marlena only shows up in this episode.
Okay.
She's not like one of the regulars.
I wonder why they didn't go with Yeoman Rand or someone we actually knew.
Is Yeoman Rand even in this season? We haven't seen her yet.
I like the
She's very stunningly
I like
beautiful, though.
the redhead
she,
from the cage.
she does the seductress thing really well.
Could have been Nurse Chapel a bit.
I think like
It might have been just too weird.
Spock and Nurse Chapel had the chemistry.
So
But yeah.
I just
Right,
looked
but
up
universe, so
Yeoman
True.
Rand. She's out of the series. Yeoman Rand is gone.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. She was fired?
She shows back up in the movies, of course, but yeah, she has ceased to be.
Thanks. They could have done Aurora, but that would have been too controversial to have like. Well, they already had a kiss, so.
In reply to Whitney, the actress of Rand, asking why the choice had been made to write her out of the show, the agent relayed that he had been told Rand's romantic relationship with Captain Kirk was becoming too obvious, and the network was insisting on depicting Kirk having a more varied romantic life with numerous women.
was that
Fascinating.
the network, or was that Gene Roddenberry?
or William Shatner for that matter.
I mean, you think, but Captain Kirk's enemies.
Is that supposed to mean something?
Are there more Vulcans
Okay.
on the ship?
I feel like we would have noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Kurt. You're always after the straight woman. You've got her
We
in
wrote
your
someone
farm
off the
already.
show for this. Apparently.
The Vaseline cam.
Kirk, kill her. She's planning to kill you.
Is she?
Probably. It's the Mirror Universe, man. They're always planning.
Always planning to kill something or somebody.
She's gonna try to pull a Hoshi, but she's gonna fail.
Ship's business. Captain's business. Is he breaking up with her? Wow, like a Hunt French game. Wow. Whew. Did he call her what I think he called her?
Now murder? Stab him in the back?
Only if necessary.
Yeah, she seems to actually like it.
Which means that Prime Universe Marlena must be planning to stab him in the back. It disgusts me. I do like how even her earrings look dangerous, though. She looks like she could stab someone with them.
It's really, I mean, I guess even Mirror Universe Starfleet doesn't have security on anything.
Well, apparently, this version of Starfleet at least bothered to install cameras, which is how the Tantalus field works.
That's true.
Only the captain has access to security, apparently, but at least they have some.
That security doesn't have any security on it. That's
Of
a
course
step
not.
too
If security had security, they could contradict the captain.
far.
They could ambush him.
You know the origin of the word contradict?
Ah, yes.
Against.
The
Where's ear review?
1992 video game Contra, famous for its difficulty.
I believe contradiction comes from like they had a great shield and a great spear that couldn't defeat one another.
I mean, there's also the words contra and like diction separately.
So do you,
Okay.
mister. So do you.
He's not even mad. He's into it.
Has this Spock figured it out yet? I think
Yeah.
he has.
Now we're gonna talk him into being nice Spock, which he already a little bit is because he's saying like please and stuff. Gross.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's got a point. That I can appreciate the Mirror universe for the fact that everybody's willing to use a gun, where people in the Prime universe just use words.
Try to use words.
Words and a big stick are more powerful than words alone. Especially if your big stick is set to stun, which That metaphor probably carries. It's fine. That is not Leonard Nimoy.
Oh, we went with the two-fisted. That could have hurt.
Wait, Spock, I missed it. Spock used two fists?
He missed though.
Okay. Because yeah, that's consistent between universes. Wow, it must be very efficient.
Hit.
Yeah, Leonard's got some crazy eyes when it gets a close up. I have to imagine Marlena's just in her quarters watching. Like it's a
Yeah.
blood sport. Really? I mean, you just sort of hit him with a pot. I think he's fine. I'm not sure he's close to death.
Yeah, that seems weird.
Oh, yep, she is. She's just watching like it's a blood sport. Okay, good.
Is this the wrong box?
No, it's the right box.
It is the right box.
You guys reminded me though. Enterprise had a really great alternate episode. I love the part where Captain Archer kills the Tholian in the agony chamber.
I thought you were gonna just stop there where you're like, I love the part, and then you're just gonna trail off into nothing, and I was like, oh, he's gonna leave us in suspense. Then you finish your sentence. I'm actually a little disappointed.
Oh wow!
She's actually helping
Does
him.
this just happen randomly on this ship? Like, why would anyone stick around on a ship where that just could happen to you at any moment with no apparent
Because-
explanation?
Because they don't actually know that's what's happening. They just
Well,
disappear.
it happens so many times though that you would
Yeah, but anybody who
just leave the ship.
asked the question probably got vaporized. Like I remember reading about why we have so many like, oh, we prayed to Poseidon and he saved us from the shipwreck stories. Is because all the people who prayed and they drowned, they never came back to tell the story. Oh, we prayed to Poseidon and we drowned. You only hear from the people who prayed to the deity and
That's
they survived.
survivorship bias.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the opposite of that. It's
But so rumors would persist about people just disappearing in a green flash. Like that would just
well, it assumes that
was
you
too
were
many
part
times.
you were part of the mutiny, and so if you were part of the mutiny anyway, you were probably
Oh,
used.
okay. Yeah, that's fair.
So, but it's funny because stories like that, miracle events, they help spread a religion, and it becomes like really impossible to stop the spread of a religion once you have enough stories like that. Like we were praying.
Real quick, I had to step away at the point where Sulu walked in with a knife. How did
Yeah.
Spock get McCoy against a wall? What happened?
Troy woke up Spock and Spock pulled him against the wall, or pushed him against the wall to
Oh,
mind read him.
they
The
just left
girlfriend
him
also-
alone.
The girlfriend used the Tantalus ray to get rid of all of Kirk's enemies.
Very loyal for a murder universe.
everybody has their fiefdoms, and you're looking out for that.
We do? You have a fiefdom?
No, I'm saying on the ship though. Like for example, it said like she was advising him, right? Like Spock has his own people, so not only do you have to kill Spock, you have to kill all the crew members loyal to him.
You could come to the real universe, Marlena. Prime universe. You
No,
could
they
hang
don't.
out.
Well,
They don't have enough power.
Sure they do. We leave McCoy behind. We don't need him.
Oh,
He's not even here. He's probably dead. Just leave him.
leave behind.
Of course, Scotty's gonna stay. He's a murderer. He lives for this world. But no, it's very clear what's going to happen. They're going to talk to Spock. He's going to be friendly. He's going to operate the controls. It's going to be fine.
Well, Spock is gonna be like, the only way I get my captain back is if I send you over there. So the logical thing to do is to send you back.
Delay the beam out.
How was that?
What was what?
You didn't hear it?
No.
It was like a whoosh sound.
I heard the...
There was a crackling.
Sounded good to me.
I think the side tone on my headset went off because I like bumped into a plastic bag with the microphone, boom mic. And it came through on my headset, but I think NVIDIA Broadcast probably didn't let it go through on Discord.
So Mikhail Gorbachev kind of did this in the Soviet Union. He moderated the Soviet Empire, like he allowed some private business enterprise to happen, and the Soviet Union collapsed. It couldn't handle any of it. So it has to be a little bit more gradual. In fact, Russia collapsed.
I don't know if you knew this, but he got special Coca-Cola made without the caramel color, so no one knew he was drinking Coke.
Yeah, so you have Lenin, then Stalin, then Khrushchev. And so they were all hardliners. He was kind of a moderate. But putting moderates in charge of authoritarian regimes can backfire.
It's
I'm just saying.
backfire for whom?
Oh, okay, so Russia collapsed and now we have Putin, and it's even worse now.
Right.
So you have to manage these collapses or avoid them in the first place.
I think what we're really getting at is that type of change needs to happen over a longer period of time.
yeah.
Because you create a power vacuum and then somebody just as bad fills the gap.
Yeah.
Often, yeah.
Generally. Or worse.
Right. So this whole episode was created by these Hulkians. How much power do they have? Where do they get this from? That they get
Hulkians?
the Hulkonians on the
No,
bottom.
they didn't make this happen. That was just the weird ion storm.
It was an electrical storm.
They didn't do anything. They're just hanging out.
All right.
So the message of this episode is to revolt.
Grass is always greener on the other side of the dimension. No, but you know what? It's very amazing because look, there's a duality of human nature, right? We could either be compassionate and empathetic, or we could be cruel and controlling. So,
Oh my
That's the
god.
woman
Wait,
from
it's
the other
Marlena.
universe.
She's back.
so I think he like asks her out at the end of this episode. So this is the weird part.
That is an
He-
inappropriate workplace relationship then, Captain Kirk.
Like we roll the credits and then he's going up to her.
Oh, that little nod he gave. And this scene, this is where they cut in Cisco for the Trouble with Tribbles, or Trials and Tribulations.
That is the scene. Yeah. That's funny.
Hmm.
Yes, she is the Cisco. The Cisco is timeless.
Since the 50 years we broadcast this episode, we don't allow subordinates and
No,
superiors.
Kirk, get away from Lieutenant.
L-
Get
She's
back to your
not.
chair.
Don't ask where she's from.
Okay, so that's Star Trek. It's a show for sure.
That concludes.
That concludes today's events. So, next week is the Apple. No idea what that is, not a clue.
Garden of Eden, maybe?
One assumes.
Then the Doomsday Machine, which is the big angry cone.
Yeah.
Remember the angry cone? And then Cat's Paw, which is that
Halloween.
time someone plays an elaborate trick or treat on us.
Hmm.
Where William Shatner doesn't understand American colloquialisms.
Oh, the apple is with Vol, the snake deity temple thing.
What?
That's
What?
Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
I mean, I
snake.
get how the snake and apple relate to each other, but what? There's a
Right.
snake monster?
There's a giant
snake man?
deity that's controlled by an electronic snake temple.
Oh, it's another computer that's manipulating a civilization. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's another evil computer episode.
Yeah. Also deities.
Yeah, but the deity's just a computer. Also, I looked up a picture of it, and the snake temple is clearly like paper mache. It's not.
Yeah, of course.
It's a
Of
great
course.
set. I can't even tell you. I wish I worshipped at something like that.
You can just get some paper mache. Is super easy to get going. Just make your own temple. There, I posted a picture of it in the general chat. It's
wanna offer
yes.
fruit. to the
very
snake temple.
intimidating.
It had lights that glowed and everything. It was an amazing prop set, actually.
So that's next week. But for this
Wow.
week, we're done here. Be gone.
Have a good
Thank
one.
you, Ryan.